All right, Warrior fans and surrounding areas, it's that time again. Time to talk TN Warrior football. Football season is here. We're about a couple of days away, and I can't wait. And we're going to talk Tuloso Midway Warriors football here with the athletic director, head football coach of the TN Warriors, and that's Coach V, James Villarreal. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Pleasure to be on again.
Yes, sir. And as I said, Coach coming on every Wednesday. Yesterday, you guys saw we had two players. They're going to come on every Monday. So we're going to have Tuloso Midway Warrior players come out for about 20 minutes because they've got some stuff they've got to do there. But they're going to come out. Coach is going to pick players to come out every Monday to kind of talk about themselves, right? The program, and talk about the season. So I'm really excited about that. We had the QB Brayson Bazell, and then we had an offensive lineman, Adam Alvarez, come out. So we're going to have a couple of more next Monday. And then Coach comes out on Wednesdays. And after next week, it'll be a little bit more structured in terms of Coach will recap the week prior. He'll preview the upcoming game, and then we're going to have stats next week. So we'll have stats. We'll talk about players' performance. So it might be a little bit longer than 20 minutes. But it's going to be exciting to be able to talk about these players. So be a little different next week. Can't wait for that. But this week, definitely the first thing I wanted to do, Coach, is kind of talk about the scrimmage. So you had a scrimmage. You traveled to Sinton. Sinton, I think if you want to see what you have to work on, that's a really good team to
Huh.
go up against because it will show you what you need to work on. But I want to get your thoughts, Coach, and let's go to the defensive side first of things. In that scrimmage, what did you see from your defense?
Well, they popped a long run to start off. They actually ran a little trap, out of their H-back stuff, and it was pretty good little play. They blocked it perfectly. Um, well, the really good thing about that, they ran it again later on, and our three technique, Alex Xavier's playing our three technique, and he actually saw it and was able to play it. Our backers fit it, and we stopped it, but they did a good job, with that. I think they have a really good O line. They have their running back, man. He's a stud, Garcia. Um, he's big, he's physical, he's fast, he can go. He'd be an exciting player for I know the Sinton Pirate fans, my family, everybody, my family's Sinton Pirates, they're excited about that team. They got a really good, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to scrimmage them. Um, we're up to play them. I think me and Coach Troutman have talked about playing probably the next realignment. And so I'm always up to play. I want to play good people, man. I'm a huge believer in that, and scrimmaging them was perfect for us. We went in there and we ran some base defense stuff that we try to do that in scrimmages because I want our kids to learn our defense. We still have we have a lot of young guys on our defense right now. They didn't play last year, so they're still learning the defense. As far as the fast pace of varsity scrimmage. They hit a backside post with the James kid, and if we're game planning them, I'm probably not going to leave him one on one a lot, but I want to see what our corners can do. I want our corners to be and have some pressure on them, to cover. And he made a great play off of a turnover. I think that was during the live. They scored that touchdown with the James kid. But man, I think I was happy about some of the competitiveness I saw out of our kids. I think early on they were kind of, you saw a little bit of bad body language. I had to pull them aside and tell them like this is a I pretty much after the scrimmage I told them that was a great full speed practice, and that's how we have to treat it. It was a great practice for us to see like what do we need to fix, like where are we at as a team before our first game, who can play and who can't play for us, that kind of thing where, and so I think it was really good for us. They shut us down in the run, and I think kind of exposed some things that we need to fix. But if you look at the film too, it's well, a block here or there against good defenses like they have, and they have a lot of kids. They're supposedly have a young defense from looking at their returners, but they played really good. I mean, their D line had some good size on it, and they gave us fits with what they do, their movements and stuff. So it was really good for our O line to see that. And so we're not too high on ourselves and understand that we got to go to practice and get better. And that's kind of what I've been preaching them about. I think it was great for us to kind of get humbled like that to where last year we didn't get that till we played Alice, and Alice kind of beat us up and beat us. And so that was mid-year, and that's kind of too late to start fixing things. So I think it was perfect for us to play somebody, Coach Troutman and Coach Alanis and those guys over there do a great job. And so they got those guys well coached, and it was a good scrimmage for us.
It was, and in talking to Adam, because I asked him about the scrimmages, the lineman Alvarez, he said, yeah, we were kind of a little, not, kind of you're playing a better team, so you could tell mentally that at the start of the game they didn't know what to expect, and then they kind of
Mhm.
got into the groove of things. But I think it's good. Like you said, you want to start a season, it's practice, kind of like a scrimmage, doesn't count for you. And it gives you
Yeah.
an opportunity to really see what you got to work on offensively and defensively. So yeah, definitely I was catching the stream. I wasn't able to make it, but I was able, I was watching, coach. I wanted to see what was going on. Then you go over to the offensive side as well. What did you see from their defense against your offense, and what kind of trouble did they give us?
I think they put pressure, like they hit our quarterback kind of early. We weren't really hitting quarterbacks, but I think one of their kids kind of got free and hit Brayson, and their coach got on them like we're staying off quarterbacks, but I think him getting hit early kind of rattled him, and I think again he needed that. I mean, I'd rather him learn that lesson now than go against Moody, because Moody's gonna they watch the film, they know what they need to do, and they're probably going to pressure him a little bit early to get him uncomfortable. I think their movement up front kind of gave us some problems. Which is great for us to watch film on. You can't simulate that kind of speed in practice. In at any way, shape, or form, even if you're going good on good. So I think it was good for our O line. And our coaches have talked to our O linemen about that and how we got to just learn from it. And so offensively, we're going to have to be dynamic, and I just rely on the running game. We're gonna have to throw the ball a little bit, and as we've talked about. So I think it helped us. Like I said, I think overall it was a great practice for us. We get to see what we're not very good at, and then we get to fix what we're not very good at. And hopefully we're ready for Moody coming up.
Absolutely, coach. And I want to ask you, and I'll probably ask you this question every week. So, with injuries, whatever you can tell us, how healthy are we healthy going into week one?
Yeah, there was no major injuries at the scrim. We had a one JV quarterback, I think a broken wrist on the JV. But other than that, we're healthy. We're going into Moody, full head of steam, and that was what was important. We didn't have any ankles or knee bad thing. The stuff you hate to see kids have. We didn't have any of that in our scrimmage, so that's a positive, and it was a physical scrimmage. I mean, it was. We win a lot of plays. We went a full half, and kids got a lot of snaps. So, and then you're going against a really good team. I mean, I told the kids that team's probably going to play for the regional championship.
Mhm.
And I really do. Between them, Wimberley and Cuero, I think they're the top three in that region. So, that might be one of the better teams we see all year.
Mhm.
In our entire schedule. So, that we just have to learn from it. And grow from that.
And that's why when we were having the conversation afterwards, we talk about all these teams, and I told him I think that was really great because going into this game, I said the one thing that's going to come out of this, however it goes, is TM's going to be better for this because I already knew that Sinton because we play them every year, so we know how Coach Troutman, we know those guys. It's a rich tradition out there in Sinton. They take a lot of pride in winning, man. They got a great program out there, and so when you play them, it's only going to make you better. So I think overall, like you said, it's going to make us better. And playing Sinton in that scrimmage is gonna help us in the non-district and hopefully in the district. Coach, I want
Yeah.
to go down to the lower levels here. They start play tomorrow, so they'll be on the road. Where would they be going? They'll be going down the court. They're going to be playing Moody.
Yeah, so our JV's playing Moody, at Moody at 5 o'clock. And we had some scheduling. Me and Coach Sosa, talked quite a bit. He was looking for a freshman game, and I think we're playing him again later on because he's playing somebody else down a freshman. So I think Hebbronville week, I want to say, our week 4. So we were gonna play them here at home, but then there's a referee shortage. I call, there's no refs for us. They're gonna have to split up. So then Coach Cantu was awesome over at Moody, and I called him and said, "Hey, look, do you mind if me and Sosa's team freshmen play at Moody after our JV game?" And so a lot of that goes in that. That's kind of what I think people don't realize how much the scheduling takes
Mhm.
place with coaches, and it's not just like you can't just cost of having decided to play. I mean, you got to have referees, you got to have workers, you got to have tickets. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that goes, even for a sub-varsity game. So it was really good for me and Eric too, because I think they're playing Orange Grove. I want to say,
Mhm.
yeah, they're playing Orange Grove. And so we figured it out, and he said, yeah, we'll travel over to Moody. So our freshmen will play Rockport at 6:30 at Moody, and it actually worked out really good because they both run slot T.
You do.
So our kids are kind of keen to practice the same thing, same thing. So it all worked out. It was kind of perfect storm, and we appreciate Moody letting us play at their place to use the referee because they already had the referees there, so they're just going to stay for that second game. So
That sounds good. And coach, does Moody have a football field? Like it's at the school. I've never been there. I've been to
yeah, so
Moody, but
every CCISD team has or school has a turf field. They did that probably 6-7 years ago. They put in turf on all the fields. So and then they have those east and west fields in the back for the junior highs to play on. So yeah, every kid in CCISD plays on turf. The sub varsities usually just play at the high schools. They don't go to Cab and Buck. They'll play. Vets is playing Miller or Moody, whoever it is. They just play each other's high school,
oh,
depending
that's
on
cool.
home and away. So
Okay. So I'll probably get out there then. I did read something like that on one of the Rockport sites, and I said, man, I'll probably go out there. So I'll be able to catch Toloso Midway's freshman and Rockport's freshman. So that'd be good. And
yeah.
that's the second game after the junior varsity, correct?
Yeah, so we let Moody play the first game just because they're home and that's the only game they're playing. So I didn't want them waiting around until 6:30 to play the second game, like because typically traditionally freshmen play then JV. So they're gonna play first and then we'll meet us and Rockport, we'll strap it on, freshman guys strap it on afterwards, the later game at 6:30.
That sounds good to me. I think I'm gonna be driving out there
Yeah.
now. So coach, and again, Mustang fan, Warrior fans and surrounding areas, you can catch this podcast on all of our GI64 social media platforms. That's our YouTube channel. That's our Facebook and Twitter page. And you can also catch this podcast on Spotify now. So you just got to go to the search bar, Premier Sports Talk, and look for the GT Sports logo, and you can catch this podcast with Coach V, and also the podcast that we have with the players. So both of those you can catch them on all of the social media networks and on Spotify as well. Coach, before we get into the you getting your thoughts on week one with Moody, I did see that you guys are working on that. I think you told me
Sky coach.
the what is it?
Sky coach.
Yes, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I wanted to ask. I don't know if you can. So how's all that going? Are you guys gonna have it ready for week one?
Yeah. So we're really excited about it. I learned this. I saw the UIL pass the rule, and there's been other states that kind of have the sideline iPads and TVs. It's very similar, like when you watch NFL games. You see them on an iPad. They're watching. They have like an instant replay. They're able to watch previous game film. But you're basically watching game film at the game, and so we've never had that before. It's been illegal with the UIL. This is the first year the UIL passed it. So, I had a couple buddies up north that head coaches at Pflugerville Weiss and Leander Glenn. I'm very blessed. I have a bunch of friends I played some college ball with, and they're all head coaches. So they call me and like, hey man, you got to get on this Sky Coach. So I call the rep, and so what it is basically you connect it to your existing cameras. There's a bunch of stuff. We did it yesterday. We stayed. We're here till almost like 7:30 as a staff, just kind of getting it ready for week one. We just got it in. I think it came in the day we went, the Thursday we played in Sinton. I got the box in. So we were trying to use it for a scrimmage, but we weren't able to. But yeah, we got it set up. And so you can use basically my coaches in the box can have iPads. And this system, after you record, you have like a master iPad that records it. It shoots the plays to the iPads in the box. So my coaches in the box can, instead of you going to the bench and asking kids, like I'm sure you go to the bench, like what's happening to you, and why are you getting double teamed, and how did they get to the back of me? All the things you ask as a defensive coordinator, I'm pretty much going to be asking. Coach Bella is actually my guy in the box, and he's going to have an iPad and be able to tell us real time. And so it's such an advantage, a competitive advantage. And I talk to our kids about that. We're always looking for a competitor. I'm a competitor. I'm going to look for the next best thing, a competitive advantage we can find. And I wanted to jump on this now because I don't think a lot of schools are going to be doing it. And it's an advantage for us. And so I think in the next 2 years, it's going to go down to the sideline, where you're going to be like an NFL game or college game would have it. So I wanted my staff to get used to it now. I have my whole junior high staff. They've been trained. They're the ones that are going to set it up for us. That's kind of their job now, is to be the instant replay guys. So we're excited about it. I bought my booster club helped me pay for that. And then with our budget money, I bought two TVs on like rollers. So at halftime, that's when you can show the kids the film. So you're allowed press box during the game, coaches, and then at halftime, I'll have an offensive TV and a defensive TV, and we'll be able to watch film at halftime instead of guessing, and then you get in Saturday and you're like, that's what was happening to us on film. You'll be able to get it real time. So we're excited about it.
And that is awesome, Coach. I want to tell you something. This season starts and you start making those changes, and they see a second half Tuloso Midway, and those coaches don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got to go down there and get that stuff too, because it's going to help. I mean, like you said, as a competitor, whatever you can do, those little things make a big difference. And I think to have the coaches be able to see that in real time and not have to ask, because even if you ask the kids, sometimes you don't know if you're
They
still
don't
trying
know.
to, you're still trying to figure it out. So you're
Yeah.
getting the play, coach has been able to see, you can go down and say, look, this is what's happening, and make the change. I think that's going to be a great advantage, and glad that Tuloso Midway has that now. And I would think more coaches are going to go to it after this year, coach, or during this. I mean, that would
I've
be the
actually
smart thing too.
I've had other coaches reach out. Hey, what is y'all set up? Hey, what is? And I don't mind, man, because I could keep it a secret. I mean, it's not a secret if it's out there. It was at coaching school. A lot of coaches saw it. So I think Huddle has a version of theirs too. But I found this program. I really liked the software. I really liked the program. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be our first time doing it. Luckily, we're at home because it'll be a different experience traveling on the road with it. We got to travel with all this equipment now, but our junior high staff's going to do an awesome job. Coach Bedetta, he's our junior coordinator. He does an amazing job down there. So we're excited about it.
That's good. That's great. We'll see how it goes, but definitely, I think more coaches from hearing you would be smart enough to make an investment in it, because I think when you have that, it's definitely going to give you an advantage, especially at halftime when whatever they're doing. And I think not just in halftime, you can see it right then and there. I mean, the coaches up in the booth can be able to say, hey, look, this what happened, and make the changes. So I
Yeah.
think more coaches in schools definitely are going to be going to it in the next 2 years, especially if you think it's going to be coming down to the sidelines here.
Yeah.
And then,
That's where in the other states they have it sideline. It's not legal in Texas on the sideline yet.
there you go. So, Coach, I want to get your thoughts now on the upcoming game here on Friday at home there. The Moody Trojans are coming to town. Coach, you beat this team last year 28-0. What can you tell us? What did the TM Warriors need to do to repeat last year again, like they did last year, and win this game? What do you want to see from your team? What do they have to do to get that win?
Well, anytime you play slot T, I'll speak defensively first. It's really hard. We call it weathering the storm, the first two series, because it's so hard to replicate. Like your whole practice structure when you play slot T is different, because you're trying to teach, like for slot T guys, it takes them years, if not months, to teach proper slot T. You saw it with, when Rockport used to have the slot T. It takes them years to run it efficiently. Well, we're trying to teach a JV team to run it in like 2 or 3 days, like to run it right and correct and go to the right place. And you look at a play card, you show a kid a play card for a scout card, and then there's lines going everywhere. So that's what's hard to me. The hardest thing about it is replicating it. So those first two series are probably the most important to get stops, like for the kids to kind of get the speed of it, whether they're running traps or sweeps or whatever they're trying to do. Our coaches do a good job of knowing a lot of that stuff. A lot of our coaches have been around slot T, so they know how everything's blocked, and so we just try to replicate that as best we can. But if we can weather the storm early on, and get the speed of it with a lot of our new guys that are going to be playing, and get some stops, that's important because that's what they want to do. They want to get limit you possessions and run the football and get first downs. The whole 3 yards in a cloud of dust deal. That's true. They want that. So, and if you allow them to do that and drive down the field, and it could be a short game and they limit your possessions of your offense. And so offensively, we have to capitalize on every possession. We cannot go a 3 and out and give them the ball right back. We have to methodically get first downs and make sure we're moving the ball down the field and capitalizing on every. You could at times. I've seen games where an offense gets 2 possessions, even if they're not the slot T offense isn't scoring it. They move the ball down and take time off. And in a half, it's 14-0, but it's because they've only got 2 possessions, so that's going to be important for us to jump out early on them. That offense doesn't want to play from behind. They don't want to really get out there and throw the ball out. So that's kind of our game plan is to, weather the storm early. They have a really good fullback. He's been there a couple of years. We played him last year. A couple good skill kids too in the backfield and some big linemen. So we're gonna have to do a good job, and they can give you problems. They're a trap game for sure, man. Coach Johnson does a great job on defense. He did a great job against us last year. We actually think he gave up 14, then we blocked a punt and got the ball on like the 1 yard line and punched it in, and I think we got another score later. So he did a good job against us. He's one of my real good buddies. I talked to him. This is probably the only week we don't talk, but we're pretty much talking defense year round because he was at Flower Bluff when I was at Vets, and we work together in Ingleside too. So he does a great job defensively, and so it's a big game for us.
It is, and I really do think that Moody won 2 games last year, and I think myself that they're going to win more this year, Coach. I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year, especially in the district now that they're in.
Yeah.
Could give themselves an opportunity to possibly compete for a playoff spot. This is a big game for our Toloso Midway Warriors. As I said, you can't take anything for granted. You see a team with the 2-6 record last year. Didn't do very much in district. How we can go in there and beat them. We got to be ready to go, right? Because if not, like you said, it could sneak up on us. That slot T is very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's an offense that can take a lot of clock and move the ball. And if we're not ready for it, we could come out where we could be in the game or be on the wrong side of the at the end of the game. So we don't want to do that. So looking for Tolosa Midway to get off to a really good start here, go 1-0 hopefully, and get, because that non-district to me is going to be good as you guys get into the district and see what we can do there. But again, expectations are really high for the Tolosa Midway Warriors, looking to compete for a district title, get back into the playoffs, win that first playoff game, and then go to the second round. So we're still a ways off from that. Right now it's week 1 against Moody. So Coach, want to say good luck to you on Friday, and then we'll talk to you again on Wednesday. Coach, I want to ask, do you know any players? Because I like to put it on the podcast here while we're recording it. Do you already know which players I'll have to talk to next Monday, or is that something you still got to think about?
You want like one offense, one defense? We did 2 offense last week, right?
However you want to give. You want to give me 2 defense this time? You want to go offense, defense, or
No, we'll go 2 defense. We'll go Maddox De Leon, and then probably Sean Burdick.
Schomburg? There you go. So we'll go
Two
offense,
guys.
defense.
Yeah, 2 defensive guy. They're the first 2 guys that earned their Swarm jerseys this week for practice. So
There you go.
that's a big deal. We hand out the Swarm as the year goes on, when we feel as a defensive staff like, oh, this guy is doing everything we ask, and he's kind of like epitomizes like our culture of defense, of swarming and no loafs and being a leader. Then we'll hand out a Swarm jersey. So our goal hopefully is to have all 11 starters in a Swarm jersey. And those jerseys can be taken away. You lose your spot, then
Ooh.
it's kind of like a big deal. It's almost like the old school Nebraska black shirt deal. But it's a big deal. It's for those kids that have a Swarm jersey, they wear it at practice. Even if they play their starter on defense, they're gonna have a Swarm jersey. So those 2 guys will be on Monday.
All righty, and I'll be able to post that. And then again, and that's great that you say that it can be taken away because just because I got it now, I can relax. Man, you got to keep it. You got to
Yeah.
earn it, and then you got to keep it. So I love that, Coach. So yeah, and again, next week, we'll be talking about stats. We'll have stats. And Coach, you said I can get those stats probably like on Sunday. They'll be done by Saturday, but
Mhm.
Sunday going into Monday they'll be there because we definitely the other thing we want to do here on the Gridiron for Tuloso Midway is post those. I love posting those stats up there on our networks so people will know and the kids can see. So that's great, Coach. The other thing is I'm going to be reaching out to the volleyball coach out there. I think it's Coach Chapa. Is that what I saw?
Yeah,
Yeah,
coach.
I saw the congratulations and we congratulated her. But do you think she'll be able to come on and talk about the volleyball program?
Oh yeah, I think that would be great. We have a great volleyball community. Tuloso Midway's historically been very good. Been to state in volleyball, and we have a couple really good players, man. Like Bella, she's a stud. I've got an opportunity to watch her. Going to the volleyball games and stuff, and so But the whole team's good. We have a really good team. Very very competitive. And we went to Sinton tournament, got second place there, lost to Sharyland. And so we've played some good people, some good teams. She scheduled some good teams. We've played Vets and we played a Wessico. We played a Valley team last night, and 6A teams and 5A teams. So she's really preparing our girls to kind of make a run. I think they have a really good program and a really good community following. So I think it'd be good for them, the community of TM, to kind of get to know Coach Chapa. And she just celebrated what was it, her 100th win, and so that's a big deal. And so we're excited to have her.
Yeah, I'm gonna send one out to her tonight. If we can get I've got the email. We'll send it out to her and schedule her on there as well. Yeah, I think the record right now, I think is like 11-2, 11-3 is what I read. Like I saw like 2, 3 days ago. So a lot of talent out there on that side as well. And we would definitely want to get her on, be able to talk about her program here at Tuloso Midway, and also, be able to let her shine some light on some of the players you're hearing, Coach here talk about some of the talent, and that team is really, really good. So, Coach, hopefully we'll reach out to her and hopefully get a response late this week or early next week. We'll set something up. Coach, thank you once again for coming on. Good luck on Friday. As hopefully we'll get that 1-0 win. We'll start off with a win.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the final thought. Anything you want to add here before we let you go?
No, I just want to encourage, the Tuloso Midway community to come out to the game Friday. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I think we pride ourselves in making games an experience for people. And I harp on that with the kids. We're the entertainment. That's our job, is to go out there and put a good product on the field and entertain our community. There's nothing like Friday nights, and especially Friday nights in a community like Tuloso Midway. It's just something in the air when you're in a small town and it's Friday night and it's football season. So I just encourage the entire community to come out, buy a ticket, come out and see our kids and see all the work they've put in for almost pretty much an entire year, up until this point. So that's what's so special about football. You only get 10 games. You can't play summer football or winter. I mean, it's 10 games guaranteed, and that's it. So these nights are special. So I just encourage the community to come out and enjoy it.
And Coach, so there's also a Warrior Nation out there, right? Because that's important too. So for these people that live out of town, alumni that are in college, because I know a lot of alumni, they want to come back, they want to see, but they don't know where. So there is a Warrior Nation where they do stream the games where people
Yes.
can watch it as well. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Warrior Nation Live is our streaming service. As a company came and they're offering it free to us, and they just do their own ads. We don't have any part of that, but they do come and they're going to do some some games, football games. They're going to do football games. They're really looking to do some other softball, baseball, volleyball too. Start streaming some games, and I think it'll be really good. We're trying to get our school started with it. We just don't have the classes to do that. Like some of these other area schools have the kids that stream it. But thought it was important that our community, like you said, we have a lot of alumni, awesome alumni that don't live around here. So they're proud of what the Warrior football team has done up until this point. And excuse me. So yeah, they can get a Warrior Nation Live as our Facebook page. They have a Facebook page. They also have a YouTube, so you can watch it on YouTube Warrior Nation Live. So go check it out, subscribe to it, and you'll see whenever the games pop up. And if you're ever not at a game, you'll be able to tune in and stream it. So I think it's a big deal.
It is, and like I said, that's how I saw the scrimmage, and it's
Yeah.
really good. And I know a lot of people don't know, so we want to get all that out there. If you can't come to the game and support them there because you live out of town, or even if you got to work and stuff, you've got grandma and
Yeah.
grandpa live out of state or family members. This is the good thing about the streaming. You can still watch your grandchild, a nephew, a niece through these live streams that we provide. So again, Warrior Nation Live, you can catch that on YouTube. Definitely support the TM Warrior Athletics through that live stream. Coach, the other thing I wanted to ask is, can you buy tickets there at the gate, or are they all online?
It's all online. So go to our website. We use the hometown ticketing, and so everything's online. And so they can buy a ticket anytime, even if they just show up, buy a ticket, and then we have scanners and just scan it on there. And if you don't know how to do it, show up, and our ticket, our scanners can help you kind of get through the website and buy our tickets online.
Absolutely. So again, Coach, good luck. We'll see you next Wednesday, and hopefully we'll be talking to you, and we'll be 1-0. And I'll be watching. I'll have a little. I've got to go do a game, but I'll be right there with my phone. I have a little iPad that I take with me, so I'll be there. Warrior Nation. I'll be watching and seeing what Tuloso Midway is doing. So once again, Coach, good luck. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you so much.
Sure.